It's new bike day. Good evening, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Welcome to new bike day. To say I'm excited would be an understatement. So in this video, I'm going to talk you through what my new bike is, what spec is it, what am I going to be changing, how much it costs, how I'm going to win Kona on it. Basically anything you want to know, I'm hoping to cover it in this video. But first of all, I thought I would talk you through very briefly what I have been riding, how this came about, etc, etc. So I'm going to put you down and stand back a bit and point at a bike. So for those who are perhaps new around here, this is what I've been riding for the last 5 years now. So I actually bought this as a grey frame, sanded it down, had a friend spray it, built it up out of parts, and in the last 5 years, I've pretty much changed everything several times. Group set, wheels, cockpit, extensions, saddle, everything you can name, I've changed. But that's been a great journey because I've tried and tested things, trial and error mostly, and figured out what parts actually make a difference and what parts don't. I've mostly enjoyed though riding this bike, which is a Planet X, so it's quite a cheap bike in the grand scheme of things. Past people on really expensive bikes, that really does it for me. So a couple of highlights, last year at the Outlaw Half, I had the 6th fastest bike split on the day. And I've also ridden a 53 minute, in fact, 25-mile time trial this year, which I think's okay, given the frame is probably about 12 years old or so. But I just felt that the time was now where I'd benefit from some upgrades. I've been saving up long and hard, I wanted a new bike, so I've really got one. So those that watch the channel regularly will know that I have been lusting over the new Canyon Speedmax, and I was really excited for it to be launched. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'm probably going to cover it in a separate video, but essentially, when the bike was released, it's too much money for me. Lots of other people might go and buy it, but for the Ultegra Di2 version, I just couldn't warrant 8 grand. So I also feel that if I was to go out and splash out on that bike, I don't think that's a good image to have, both for me and for triathlon as a sport. So I thought I need to have something more affordable, both so that I can actually eat something other than rice and beans, as well as like connecting more with you guys, because I guess the vast majority of you haven't got an 8 grand Canyon Speedmax. If you have, I want to go, but yeah. So when I decided that I wouldn't be getting a Canyon Speedmax, I thought, right, I need to start scouring eBay, scouring Facebook, looking at sales, deciding what else I was going to get, and eventually, quite quickly actually, decided on a new bike. So without further ado, here it is. Boom, this is it, here we go. As the massive lettering might give away, this is a felt. This is a felt IA1. Now the IA1 sits towards the top of the range, but below the FRD frame set, so it's sort of second to the top frame set. It's full carbon throughout, it's nice deep tubes. I'm gonna start from the frame and try not to get too excited. You can probably tell I'm a bit bubbling over. I'm gonna talk about, hang on, it's getting a bit warm, I'm gonna take my jumper off. Whew, there we go, it's getting me a bit warm. So, it's a Felt IA1 rim brake. The frame is a 2018 frame. All the components on this bike and the frame are brand new, not been used. However, I have bought it second hand. So it's essentially been built by somebody, built up, and then not used. So, gentlemen, so it's me now watching the channel. Thank you, because I pressured you into clicking the subscribe button. So firstly, thank you very much for selling your bike. Secondly, well done, looks like an incredible build. So let me talk you through the spec. Felt IA1, it's actually a 56 centimeter frame. I normally ride a 58, my Planet X was 58, or my road bike's 58. Upon talking to a few people and people who fit bikes and stuff, it became apparent that a 56 would be fine for me. These are very adjustable lengthwise and height-wise, and actually I'm sort of on the borderline of like large and extra large anyway. So I'm for a 56. Now it's possible it's too small, in which case I'll sell it, but I really don't think that will be the case. Also, a 56 is a lot more common to come across, so there's a lot more choice. So if I ever come to resell this, it's probably easier to sell and so on. So that's the frame. Obviously it's in a grey and it's got some like exposed carbon, so it's like metallic grey, then exposed carbon there, there and there. It looks absolutely lovely. I really, really do like it. It just looks black on the camera, but when you're in person, it looks awesome. Wheels, these are Selkoff Planet X tubeless ready clinchers, again brand new. The brakes are integrated front and rear, so the rear one is down near the bottom bracket, which is down there. The front one is integrated into the fork. The saddle is a Pro something. Saddles are very individual, aren't they? This looks like a good time trial saddle. It's got a bit of grip on it as well, so I might actually give this a go. But you know, normally you can just put their own saddles on bikes. It's got some top tube storage here. Now, whenever I looked at these, I always thought that they were just that little top box there. It's not, it goes right into the frame, so I can store so much food in there. All right, picnic. On the back here is some storage for spares. These were the two main things that I wanted to upgrade from the Planet X. It didn't have anything built in, so everything I had like attached to it and always a problem. So to have stuff that's integrated is a big benefit to me. Don't break this on camera, that'll be really awkward. moving on to the group set, it's a Sram Red Etap 11 speed, completely wireless, completely electric. Again, not used. The blip box has been fitted in the front shrouding there, so it's a really clean build. You'll see there's no, like, the wires from the extensions get dragged down the back of the risers straight into the top tube, and there's just no drag anywhere. It's absolutely excellent. It's controlled by the blips on the end of the bars. There's also clicks on the top bars as well for when you're climbing. Obviously during hilly events there'll be a lot of climbing. It's got an S-Works specialised one-piece mono bar. Not used one of those before, but look forward to testing it out. USE 40-degree carbon extensions. The only thing I have done is I've put my NRG wax chain on and ceramic bearing jockey wheels. If you do want a wax chain that looks as awesome as this does, check the link in the description down below. You get £10 off of a race wax chain. I don't get anything out of it. Awesome product, great guys, love supporting them. The crank is a Rotor 3D Plus carbon crank with carbon aero chain rings, 5339. It's not a power meter crank, it is just a normal crank, but that looks awesome in my opinion. Is that it? I think that's it in a nutshell. Yeah, basically. It's like titanium skewers that are quite aero. I think that's basically it. It's a bike, isn't it? I probably missed something. If there's anything you want to know about it, drop me a question down below. I'm happy to respond to those. Now, what am I going to change on this bike? Now, the first thing is, I'm going to go and get a fit on it. I'm going to make sure I can actually ride it before I spend any money on parts, any money on anything else I've got planned. And then go from there. I'm not going to, like I say, I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm probably going to go into loads of detail now. I don't think the mono bar will work for me. I think I'll end up changing it for 2 cups, but I'll see what the bike fitter says. Again, same with the extensions, not sure if I'll be right or not. I will remove the tape down here. I don't really spend any time on the tops there, so there's no point having tape on when it's just an aero penalty. I'll probably remove the blips as well. That's quite a, I know it's tiny, but like those little things add up, so I think the aero penalty of that isn't really worth it. I will just change gear on the top. The wheels, now I do have, as you've seen on the Planet X, I do have some zips. I've got an 808 and a 404 front and a rear disc, which are great wheels, but I'm thinking of going tubeless. So I might have to swap those for something that is tubeless ready, because they are not tubeless ready, they are only clincher. Now, obviously that's quite expensive to do, so I'm going to give it a good bit of thought before I actually do that, and I'll see over the next few months what comes up second hand. There's not many tubeless rim brake discs I'm noticing. There's only a few manufacturers who do them, and I don't particularly want to drop £3 on a disc. The chain set, as nice as it is, 5339, it sounds really like pretentious saying this, isn't big enough. On time trials, when you're averaging like, I did 25-mile time trial, averaging 28 miles an hour, on the fast pitch you do run out of gears, especially downhill, so I will need to get a bigger chain set, especially for chain line efficiency, so being more in the middle of the block. I think I'm going to explore a 1x system for TTs, and then maybe a 2x for hilly events. So like this might be fine for Ironman Wales, but on longer TTs and like flat TTs, I'll probably go to a 1x, maybe a 56 or a 58. And then the main thing that I'm going to change, I'm sure some of you will be like, yes, and some of you will go, Daniel, you cannot do that to a brand new frame. I'm going to have the frame repainted, right? I know that it looks good and I like it. However, I love blue bikes, and you've got to love what you ride, haven't you? Where you've got to really like look down and think, yes, that is mine. And I'm not joking, when I'm in transition, having a bright blue bike really helps you pick it out. Having this, it'll be a pain to pick out in a line. So therefore, I'm going to have it sprayed, probably some sort of blue. I'm wondering about whether to leave some of this exposed carbon exposed. Let me know down below, what do you think? But yeah, definitely some sort of funky colour. My local trusty paint sprayer has already been primed, pun intended, ready to get this in. So hopefully he's looking forward to painting all these little tiny fiddly bits that they're probably going to strangle me for, but there you go. So that's the bike, and I said I'm going to talk about how much it costs. I'm really a bit awkward in these sorts of times, like I don't know how to come across when I say how much it costs, because I don't want to be like, oh, I spent this much money on this because I've got loads of money. That's really not the case. If you saw my bank account, you understand. But I'm going to share with you the price, because I think it shows what you can buy for the money if you firstly shop around, use things like Facebook and eBay. Don't just buy things that are brand new out and from brand new from retailers. So for all of this, have a think first what you think it's worth. For the whole bike delivered, I paid £2,700. And I think that's all right. That's a lot of money to spend on a bike without an engine. I know that, but it's a lot less money than £8 for a new Speedmax, isn't it? So, and in my opinion, I don't think it's worthwhile for me spending that much money on a bike, because I will still go to time trials and get beat by juniors and go to triathlons and be mid-pack. Like it's not it's not worth it. It just makes it quite awkward, doesn't it? Whereas this, I'm a bit less, like this is a lot of money still, but you know, leaving it in transition, leaning it up against the wall, I'm just that bit less bothered because it hasn't cost me about 10 years worth of earnings to buy, so it makes it a bit more of an enjoyable ownership experience. But let me know down below, you know, what do you spend on a TT bike? Some people, I'm sure, it's all circumstantial, isn't it? Some people will drop 10 grand on a bike and it's nothing, and other people will not be able to stretch to a bike this expense. It's all relative, you know, it's all different for everybody, isn't it? So I just thought it's worthwhile sharing because I don't want to make out like I've spent, you know, loads of massive money on a bike when I actually think I've done pretty well and then bought some in second hand for a bit of a discount. So yeah, that is it. As I said though, let me know if you want, you know, got any questions or anything. I'm really looking forward to giving this a ride. I'm probably not going to ride it until I go for a fit because I just can't be bothered with fiddling around with it. And then hopefully I will get out on it very soon afterwards, get it on a turbo, have a quick few rides, get used to the position, and then next year, hopefully hit some TTs, hit some triathlons, and have one less excuse to make when I don't win it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that's not come across like too like boasty, look at me, but this is YouTube. I think you have to be a little bit like that in order to, you know, get the video across. Genuinely, I've saved up for a bike for a long time now. I've really wanted one. It means a lot to me, I spend a lot on them. I suppose I'm justifying it. That's it, that's my new bike. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button down below. And I'll see you tomorrow at 4 PM for a normal video, and I'll see you very soon, hopefully, going at a decent speed on this bike. See you later.